Right guys, we're back. Welcome. Third stream of the day. This is the Late Night Agenda. I'm your host Craig and this is the Anfield Agenda YouTube channel. You are very welcome. What is there to say after today's performance, guys? 3-0 win away from home to Watford. 13 games unbeaten in the Premier League. 33 points on the board. 5 goals conceded only all season. Clean sheet records broken left, right and centre. And you can see from my thoughts tonight, is this the best defence in the league? That's what I want to know. Is this Liverpool defence the best defence currently plying its trade in the Premier League? I think it is. I hope you think it is. Let's wait and see what people think. I'm going to wait for the chat to fill up. There's so much for us to get through. I want to know your man of the match. I want to talk through the goals. I want to know what you thought about team selection, tactics, the whole lot. Simon Rocks is in. How are you, mate? Great to have you with us. Thank you. First one in tonight. Brilliant to have you. I'm still pumped after that win. I'm absolutely buzzing. I can't believe we're 13 games into the season, unbeaten, on 33 points. That's basically 11 wins. Well, and it's really 10 wins and 3 draws, but you know where I'm coming from. It's unbelievable. Only 2 teams left now in the Premier League unbeaten, ourselves and Manchester City. That's a massive achievement. It really is a fantastic achievement. I cannot wait to see what this season brings. I'm full of promise. I'm full of enthusiasm. I'm full of hope. Hope kills you in the end, but you know what? Fuck it. Gotta believe. I don't care that Manchester City went and won 4-0 against West Ham today. That's irrelevant to me. I'm looking around me. I'm looking at the teams that are in and around Liverpool. I'm seeing that Manchester United again drop points. What are they now? 11, 12 points behind or something mad like that. We have seen Chelsea get hammered by Spurs today. Absolutely hammered. I was screaming when Trent scored. Good goal. It was a fucking beauty, mate. Absolute beauty. We'll talk through that one as well. Unbelievable. Like, the guy is 19, 20 years of age. Unbelievable talent. That free kick was just stunning. Dirty Girl is in. How are you? My parents are disappointed in me. City's defence isn't as good as ours, in my opinion. I don't understand that argument. Mate, I'm with you. Liverpool, 5 goals conceded. That's all this season in the Premier League. 5 goals in 13 games. We have a goal difference of plus 21, I think, if memory serves me correct. That's pretty damn good. We scored 26, conceded 5. Won at 10, drawn 3, lost none. On one of only 2 teams left undefeated in the Premier League. It's unbelievable. I'm so fucking happy with this season so far. Excuse me, we did crazy numbers, by the way, for the stream earlier on. Last time I checked, I think we had 25,000 views, something like that, which is amazing. Over the moon with that one. Sorry, just under 24,000 views, apologies, of the stream earlier on. And still going up, which is amazing. So thank you so much to everybody that joined. We picked up around 100 subs as well, which is nuts. Louis in as well. Louis, how are you? Dirty Girl. I'd still like Klopp to buy in January. You know what, mate? I'm kind of with you. I'd like this good vibe to keep going. I'd like this good feeling that's around to keep going. And if that means bringing in another player, yeah, I'm with you. And I think we need it as well. I think it's not just us being greedy. I honestly think we need somebody. As good as Shaqiri is, and he is very, very good, he can't do it all on his own. We're going to need another creative player or another forward. Do you know what? The forward did their job today, though. Bobby Firmino was playing deeper. Tough role from again. Mane, brilliant. Salah, brilliant. I'm just so happy. I'm honestly over the moon. Let's go, Craig. You're the GOAT, and I can't wait for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain to come back. Welcome, mate. Welcome, Constance. Great to have you with us. 3-0 away from home. We spoke about it during the week. A lot of us actually. 3 was probably the most guessed score. 3-0, 3-1, something along those lines. But to go away from home like that, a thoroughly professional performance. Look, it wasn't great. It wasn't the Reds at their brilliant best, but it was a good performance. We lifted the tempo in the second half. We kept them to very limited amount of chances at home. I'm pretty impressed. I'm pretty damn impressed with how professional Liverpool are these days. Ivan said Shaqiri in centre attack and mid would give more options for him. It would, you're right. Out on the right hand side today, he probably wasn't in his best position. You're absolutely spot on, mate. In behind there, in that gap. But then what are you going to do with Bobby? Because we're pretty much playing mode through the centre at this point. So what do you do with Bobby? It's a tough one, isn't it? Because for me, Bobby Firmino has to be in an 11. He just has to be in the Liverpool 11. What else have we got? I feel like maybe a move from Memphis wouldn't be bad. I just don't like him, mate. And look, I've no say over who the fuck comes into Liverpool. I just don't like Memphis Depay. I think he's a bit of a diva and I don't like his attitude. I've heard him giving out about the Lyon manager. Is he talented? Absolutely. Does he have the ability? You bet your ass he does. Can he score some fucking goals? Yes. But I just don't think he'd make it, and I don't think Jurgen Klopp would put up with his nonsense. Somebody else said that he's madly, deeply in love with Manchester United as well, which I honestly don't know. Crosby Red is in. How are you? Good evening, Reds. Great result, and even better than Manx and Chelsea drop points. Spurs pretty much handed Chelsea's ass to them. 3-1, could have been 4-5, 6-1. Well done to them. That puts Spurs up into third place, madly enough, even though they kind of came from nowhere. They're right up now in third place, 3 points behind Liverpool, 5 points behind Manchester City, and Chelsea lose their unbeaten record and drop off. What's tonight's topics? Any guests on? No guest, Dirty Girl. It's Saturday night. Connor's out. Everybody's out enjoying themselves. And why not? It's Saturday night. But I'm an old, boring fuddy-duddy, so I'm in. I'm here to talk to you guys. Topics are whatever you want, my friend. Whatever you want to talk about. We'll go through the goals today. We'll have a look ahead to Wednesday. I want to know your man of the match as well, by the way. I don't think I asked you guys that earlier on. CJW is in. How are you? I'm absolutely sound. Thank you, buddy, for asking. We huffed and puffed and we finally blew Watford's house down. About fucking time. About time. I mean, the first half, it was a good, solid game of football from both sides, but it wasn't one for the neutral, I'd say. It wasn't really anybody for someone tuning in to see excitement. Wasn't really getting it in that first half. Absolutely buzzing with the results at the Revenite. It's class. It really is class. Somebody said to me earlier on that this is now a clean sheet record for the Premier League for Liverpool. I think it's 8 clean sheets in 13 games already, which is unbelievable. 8 clean sheets out of 13. Only conceded 5 goals. Nobody, I think, in the Premier League has scored more than 1 past us this year. Is our defence the best in the Premier League? That's what I'm wondering. That's the title of tonight's stream. I want your opinion. Let me know. I think it has to be there. It has to be in the conversation. I can't think of many that are better. Spurs have a good defence. There's no doubt in that one. Manchester City's defence, I'm not having that they're better than theirs. I'm not even entertaining that in the conversation. Better attack than theirs, most probably. But defence, I think we're shading it, I think. What else we got? Left wing Mane, striker Firmino, right wing Salah. The world's better rather than having Salah up front. Yeah, I think what they're trying to do with Salah up front at the moment, Louis, is just catch teams on the counter-attack very quickly. How many long diagonal balls have we seen this season so far? More than I can remember in a very long time. Virgil van Dijk, Jordan Henderson, even Trent, I suppose, to an extent, have all been hitting long diagonal balls. And who was it that came in? Matip, actually. When Matip came in, he was aiming them as well. And that's to try and get Salah in behind. But it hasn't worked. It has not worked yet. And it hasn't worked in the sense that not only is he not getting behind very often, we haven't got runners up to him when he has managed to get on the ball out on the right hand side or the left hand side. So I don't think that system's working. It's working from a defensive standpoint, don't get me wrong. I mean, we're not conceding. And there's a fine balance. I mean, what do we want to do? Are we happy to go and win? Well, 3-0. I mean, of course you're happy to win a game 3-0. But are we happy to be a little bit more defensively sound and score a few goals less? I am. I'm absolutely over the moon. 3 points for me. I don't care how they come. 3 points is all I'm interested in. Golden glove for Alisson, said Crosby Red. He wasn't helping himself out in the first half, mate, was he? What the fuck was he at again? Getting caught out, giving the ball to Firmino that just wasn't on. And then he was closed down and we got away with it. But other than that, he made a great save as well in the second half. In the second half or the first half? First half. He made a great save. Excuse me, my mind was gone. Made a great save at the end of the first half. Point blank shot, tipped it around the post. Really good. Becoming the best defence at Jay. I'd say put Firmino a striker again. Salah looks good as right winger for Egypt. I think he works better cutting inside rather than waiting for the long ball coming in, said Ivan. I'm with you, and I don't understand why he's gone through the centre so much this year, mate. Last year he was savage out in that right wing, absolutely class. And we all felt bad for Mane actually, because Mane had been pushed out to the left to accommodate Salah on the right. Now look, the number of goals Salah scored last year, it kind of does give the manager a headache and thinking, do you know what, if we put him to the middle, will that increase? Is he now a forward? Is he almost a striker with his pace, with his ability to finish? I would say no. I would say he isn't a striker. And I would also hazard a guess as to say, it probably isn't the right move playing for the centre. Out on the right is where we did the damage. Now, is he being marked out of the game out there by people? Possibly. They're doubling up, trebling up on him at times, but it's taken something away from Bobby Firmino not playing him through the centre. I don't know, man. I don't know. Klopp obviously has a vision in his head of how he wants this to work out. I'm not going to second guess the gaffer. He's got us where we are now. We're all nitpicking, but it's good to be nitpicking because the big picture is looking beautiful. And it's okay to try and tweak. It's okay. That's what we're here for. We're football fans. Nobody's on here trolling people. Nobody's on saying somebody's shite. We're just looking for perfection. We're all striving for that perfection. It's never going to come. But that's the beauty of football fans, isn't it? We can always try and tweak. Trent deserves a higher rating on FIFA. Him and Gomez and VVD are great together. I think he's one of the best defence in the world. It's getting there, mate. It really is. And what's so scary about it, Anthony, is Trent, so young. Gomez, so young. Robbo out on the left, still developing. And Virgil van Dijk hasn't even hit his peak yet. It's just brilliant to think how good our defence can be. Tommy said, VVD, best centre-half in the world at the minute, no doubt. I'm loving that you're using the phrase centre-half, mate. I love when people put that in. I love old school descriptions of centre-back. Centre-half, love it. I'm having that all day. Keep putting it in. Last season, first 13 games, 18 goals against. This season, 5 goals against and in 13 games. That's some difference, isn't it? That is some fucking difference. Jesus Christ. That's unbelievable. 13 goal swing. Madness. I was looking at the league tables, and if we were in Italy, we wouldn't be top of the table because I think there's only 2 points being dropped by Juventus so far. But in La Liga, Barcelona top that table at the minute with 25 points. 25 fucking points tops La Liga at the minute. And here's Liverpool on 33. And this is after the same amount of games, by the way. Liverpool on 33 points and they're still second in the league. It's absolute madness. Antoine Goatman is in. How are you, sir? Did anybody watch the Barcelona Atletico game? I watched the first 60 minutes of it. Didn't see either of the goals, of course. Just about missed them. But 1-1 that one finished for anyone that doesn't know. Ousmane Dembele scoring a very late equaliser for Barcelona after I think it was Costa who opened the scoring for Atletico. Van Dijk for Liverpool Player of the Year, said Louis. It's an early shout, Louis, to be fair, but there's been so many candidates. Absolutely fucking quality. I love it. I'm really happy at the minute. After that 2 weeks away, I was wondering how Liverpool were going to come back. Were we going to be a little bit rusty? Were Watford going to catch us on the hop? We did the job. We did it very, very well. Kev is in. Kev, how are you, mate? Great to have you back in. The fat Belgium fraud in London. Oh, I love that. Can we say it again? The fat Belgium fraud in London. There you go. Antoine Goatman, did the Boca bus get smoke bombed? It did. That game was delayed. It was supposed to kick off at 9. Then it's been pushed back to 10:15. And I was checking a few minutes ago, and as I had checked, it still hadn't kicked off. Is it off now? No, the game still hasn't kicked off. For those of you asking about the River Plate Boca game, I've been keeping an eye on it. Their bus was attacked. Carlos Tevez was one of the players, I believe, who was injured in that bus attack. There was smoke bombs thrown at the bus. The windows were shattered. Makes Manchester City's incident look like a kindergarten. But yeah, the game still hasn't kicked off. Don't know what's going to go on. They asked for it to be postponed. They said no, that the game's going to go ahead. I'm just looking through here now, trying to see if I can find any information on it. Yeah, it says move back to 10:15, but it's 10:30 now and the game still hasn't kicked off on mine. Madness altogether. Fucking madness. Dembele scored and Costa scored. That's all I know. Didn't watch the game, said Louis. I'm worried that if the match starts today, something bad might happen, especially if Boca win. It's tough, mate, isn't it? Because people's safety, fans and players, has to be first and foremost in everybody's mind. But at the same time, this shit can't go on in football. I mean, supporting your team and being loud, boisterous, getting behind them, singing, banners, all that stuff is great. But there's a fine line between being very supportive and stepping over into hooliganism, and we've got to be careful here. If there's any worries about people inside that stadium, the match can't go ahead. It just can't. Football cannot afford another incident where fans get hurt. Heaven forbid they get killed. It just can't happen. So if there's any doubt, I'd rather see the game postponed or called off. We just don't want to see it happening. The fans don't deserve it. The players don't deserve it. The sport in general doesn't deserve it. So let's wait and see what happens. We all know that it's heightened over there at the minute. I mean, first leg, good game of football. Second leg, it's all set up for a fantastic finish. I don't know. it's tough to make that call. I'm glad it's not me that has to make it. Cristiano Ronaldo and Mandzukic scoring for me. That's one of the best duo in Europe. CR7 and Mario Mandzukic. Roberto, I think you're definitely the Liverpool version of me, I think. I mean, you're so loyal to that club, but I just don't think that they're going to do much in Europe this year, mate. And I don't think that they're as good as you think they are. But all due respect, because they're a very good side. Ronaldo is past it. You have to surely admit that much, Roberto. That he is past it at this point. He's scoring goals, great. But I think the goals that he was scoring in the past couple of years could be scored by most people in his positions. I mean, take away his penalties and stuff as well. I just don't rate Ronaldo anymore. And I'm sorry, that probably makes you think I'm an absolute dick, but I just think he's on the slide massively. And I watched Messi tonight, and I've seen his ability on the ball, and I've just seen what he's still capable of doing. And I just think it's night and day at this moment in time between Messi and Ronaldo. But Ronaldo has been an excellent player, and I feel like I'm having this conversation every week now. Mandzukic is brilliant. He's such a hard working player, very underrated, as I think you said the other night. Ronaldo is past it, mate. Let's be honest, he really is. But look, it's your opinion, it's my opinion. Ronaldo versus Man United, Ronaldo's goal versus Empoli, 2 contenders. Yeah, but mate, it's against fucking Empoli. That's the point here. Empoli, they're shite, absolutely shite. The only way that Ronaldo's going to convince me that he's still there, and he doesn't need to convince me. I mean, who the fuck am I at the end of the day? I just think that he needs to do it in the Champions League with Juventus this season. If Ronaldo can do it in the Champions League with Juventus, then I've got no argument. I have to just put my hands up and say, do you know what? I've been completely wrong. But for me, I think he's gone there for a payday. I think he's gone there for an easy finish to his career. And I just don't think he's at the standard that he once was. He can score fantastic goals. Nobody's going to doubt that. Of course he can. He's got the talent in his feet. He's a really good footballer. He's the top scorer in Italy and 6 assists. Again, mate. In Italy, he's playing for Juventus. Any striker for Juventus should be the top scorer in Italy. Let's be honest about that. Higuain, when he was there, how many years was he the top scorer in Italy? I'm not trying to have a go at your club, mate. I like Juventus a lot. I've got about fucking 6 Juventus shirts in my wardrobe. I just don't think Ronaldo's that good. If Ronaldo wanted a payday, he would have said it himself. He would have gone to China. Mate, with all due respect, he's probably going to prison at some point. So if we're going to be blunt about things, he's probably gone to prison. Did you read about what he did? I'm sure you did. If you read the story through, it's pathetic what he did. I don't really want to talk about it on here because it's a football show. We're having a laugh. But Ronaldo is not the person that many people think he is. And I just don't like the dude. I've been clear about it from day one. I don't like Cristiano Ronaldo. Not one bit. But look, I don't have to like him, Roberto, mate. We can disagree on this and we can move on. You're a Juve fan. I'm sure you're going to have a fantastic season this year. Absolutely going to win the Scudetto. Probably do well in Europe. Nobody believes those allegations. Even Barca fans think he didn't do it. Mate, he did it. That's the fucking point. There is a sworn affidavit from his own solicitors saying, for him admitting that she said no. That's not even up for debate. That's there in black and white. So you can say he didn't do it, but the fact of the matter is he pretty much did do it. You don't pay somebody off like that, mate, for no reason. There has to be something to this. Think about it. Take your Ronaldo tinted glasses off and look at this. And imagine this situation was involving your sister or your mum or your mate or anyone you cared about. Because I've looked at it, I've read about this in depth, and I've read every piece of information I can get on that situation. It's iffy, to say the best. But look, it's not for me to decide. It's up for the courts to decide. If nothing goes ahead, then Cristiano Ronaldo's name will be absolutely intact. Who do you think will win the Golden Boot? Said Anthony. It's looking like it's going to be fucking Aguero, to be honest, mate. I can't see anybody catching him if Manchester City keeps going the way they are. But they're not a fake. They're absolutely not a fake, Roberto. If they were fake, then their Spiegel wouldn't even be in operation today. They'd be closed down. Those are absolutely real documents, 100%, mate. I promise you that. And I take no pleasure in saying this. Why? I don't want footballers. I don't want footballers at the top part of the game. People that kids look up to and admire. I don't want their names being blackened. I honestly don't. But they're not fake documents, buddy. They are real documents. If Ronaldo wanted a payday, we've done that one. Now, he wouldn't have admitted that he wanted a payday. No footballer would admit to it. Would you rather have Messi and Suarez in Liverpool or have United and Everton relegated? Would you rather have Messi and Suarez in Liverpool or have United? That's the most ridiculous question in the world, Antoine. Of course I'd rather have Messi and Suarez in Liverpool. That makes no sense. I don't give a fuck about United and Everton. I'm only interested in Liverpool doing well. And if there's a chance for Messi to play in the Liverpool shirt, sign me up for that one. I gave up on this Boca versus River Plate match. Gonna be right back. Check what's happening with it. To Antoine, thank you, mate. London Derby today, 35,000 empty seats. Jesus, I didn't know that, Stephen. That's pathetic. 35,000 empty seats. Now, yes, it's Wembley, so there's got to be some leeway there with numbers, but 35,000 empty seats for a massive game between Spurs and Chelsea. An absolutely massive game. That's crazy. Everton fans would never want Liverpool relegated. That would be 6 good points gone for us, mate. When's the last time you got 6 points out of Liverpool in the season? Come on, be realistic. Hello, Craig. Glad to see you again. What a great win, said Hassan. I'm over the moon, mate. I hope you enjoyed the game earlier on. It's a fantastic start to the season for Liverpool. Craig, I just told you that Price was guilty. Mate, you're gone over my head with that one. Price was guilty? You're going to have to come back around with that one, Stephen. I'm not sure. If that's the case, then I'm disgusted with him. Roberto, mate, honestly, you know I like you, buddy. We chat to each other most nights in here now. I respect the hell out of you. I love your football passion. We're just going to have to disagree on this. I would say read up on the Ronaldo thing a little bit more. And that's all. But I don't want to argue with you. I think you're a sound guy. I love having you on here. And I've nothing against Juventus at all. I promise you that one. Ronaldo won't go to prison. I can't read that one out, Kigby. He did do it, but it's not for me to read that one out. But of course, Manchester City's accountants did the figures, so it was a sellout. Yeah, I mean, they brought them in especially for the game, Stephen. What else have we got? Agenda, the match was delayed till tomorrow. Thank you, Antoine. That's the sensible decision, isn't it? Nobody wants to see anybody injured or hurt. Right, let's circle it back round to the Reds and our defence. Is there a better defence in the Premier League? It's a fair question. Now, I'm not one for statistics. I like to look at things and see it with my own two eyes. So I'm sure there's a statistician out there somewhere, or one of you guys can let me know if statistically there's a better defence this season than Liverpool. Spurs, as Roberto said, are a very good defensive unit. There's no doubt that they're a very good unit. I just think Liverpool have surpassed them at this moment. Last year, I agree with you, absolutely Spurs were better. This year we've just stepped it up. I've no idea what Spurs is. I know their goal difference is 13, I think, but I don't know what their goals for and against are at this moment in time. But they definitely do have a very good defence. Neymar will play against Liverpool on Wednesday. Latest rumours on Twitter to do with the LFC PSG game. Well, look, if he plays, he plays. He played the first game, we still beat them, Louis. We're capable of doing this. It's weird, in my head this is almost like a free shot, because I've always believed we're going to have to beat Napoli at home by 2 goals to go through. Don't know why, but I've always had that in the back of my head. So we can go to Paris Saint-Germain and we can have a roll of the dice. We can see what we can do there. I'd like to see Klopp put out an attacking side. I'd hate to see us go there to try and contain them, because I think that will play right into their hands at home. We've seen other teams do it. We know that they can be hit and miss. It makes it a very intriguing game. And I hope Mbappe plays, by the way, because I always like to see Kylian Mbappe on a football pitch. I hope he doesn't do well, but I always like to see him on the field. Neymar never worries me. He's an absolute diva. Just give him a boot. Send Jimmy Milner or Andy Robertson to give him a kick in the arse after about 5 minutes and he'll be grand. I think we won't catch City till the Etihad game, said Stephen Richards. Mate, they've got some tough games coming up. Do they have Chelsea and Spurs? No, they had Spurs. I think they've got Chelsea coming up soon enough. So they have some tough games, and I think they've 3 away games in the next 5. Did anyone see Hazard diving for penalties? I didn't see it, but should Chelsea have had a penalty? There's a few things going around that said Chelsea should have had a penalty in that Spurs game. I didn't see the incident. Spurs have a great defence, but this season our defence has got a lot better, said Anthony. VVD equals best in the world. Robertson equals best in the Premier League. Gomez and Trent, future stars, says Kigby. They are, guys. They really are. Andy Robertson, can we just take a minute to talk about Andy Robertson? What a performance again today down that left hand side. The third goal, the counter attacking goal, the effort, the work rate put in, the determination shown by Andy Robertson down that left side to keep that ball alive was fantastic. I fucking love that guy. He is so, I won't say underrated because he isn't underrated, not by us Liverpool fans or people that watch him, but he is an absolute star. And I'm so happy for him that he got given the captaincy of Scotland because he deserves it and he'll do a cracking job. Neymar overrated, said Roberto. Absolutely, to me, mate. Absolutely. I said to you that I don't think Ronaldo is at the top level anymore. Well, I tell you what, I don't think Neymar is fit to lace Ronaldo's boots, and that's the truth of it. I think Neymar is so overrated. Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, superstars. Kylian Mbappe, he's going to be a superstar. Neymar is an absolute fucking... He's a YouTube footballer. He's a complete diva, and he's completely overrated. Neymar will... what's this? Neymar will do now the punk bitch at the Revenite. Sorry about that. I didn't know what you were saying, but I like it. He'll do now. You'll do nothing. Andy Robbo is the new Roberto Carlos, and his defensive attributes minus his world-class shot. What about that free kick from Trent today, though? My fucking God, what about that? I knew he'd scored before he taken it because my stream was about 30 seconds behind other people in the chat, so people had already let me know that we'd gone 2-0 up. But what a free kick. He made it look so easy. Brilliant. What a striker of the ball. And you know what? Fair play to Klopp. Fair play to Klopp for giving him that responsibility, to believing in the young man, to give him that opportunity. We've seen him score one against Hoffenheim before, stepped up and did it again today. At 19, is he still 19? 19 or 20-year-old right back, calm as you like, a very important part of the game, stepped up, straight into the corner. Ben Foster, who had an absolutely fantastic game by the way, hadn't got a hope, couldn't get near it, smashing strike. Liverpool 26-5, Spurs 23-11. There you go. I mean, if Spurs have conceded 11, we've conceded 5. Then, I mean, the stats speak for themselves there with regards to our defence this season. Neymar's magic. He made himself disappear when he played PSG at home or last time. I was wondering where you were going with the Neymar's magic bit. I was thinking, I'm going to have to disagree with Stephen here. Great result today. Game management at last. Just need to be consistent in this. It's a Maureen out day again. Oh good, I'm so glad that it's a Maureen out day for Gark today. No doubt it'll be different next week. When they win a game, he'll be all up his arse again. But look, fuck them, we'll leave them to it. I'm enjoying being a Liverpool fan, I'm sure you guys are as well. 3-0 away from home against Watford, I mean that's a pretty good result. I know I keep going back over it, but it's a pretty damn good result. I'm hoping by the 8th we're on top, said Kevin, or Kevla, excuse me. I take a draw at PSG and a win against Napoli, job done, said Maverick. PSG are a crap club. They were only founded, Roberto, in like 1974 or something. I found that out a few months ago and I couldn't believe that they were that new. 1974 or something like that. It's really, really young for a football club in Europe. The Belgian fraud with another disaster class, said Louis. Again, mate, that's what I'm saying. He is not the best footballer in the Premier League and I'm sick of people saying that he is. He shows up 7 or 8 times a year perhaps and puts in amazing performances for those times. He's capable of it, but he's not consistent enough. He wants out of Chelsea. He wants to move to Real Madrid. I think over Christmas you'll see his level go up because he'll want that move and he'll try and get Real Madrid to come calling like he did in the summer. He basically came out and said, I want to go to Real Madrid. If only we had Kane, said Antoine. If that's about Liverpool, you can fuck him. We don't want Kane. Kane can stay where he is. I couldn't look at his fucking head every day and listen to him doing interviews. I'd go mad. Chelsea got spanked. Spurs should have scored 6, said the Maverick. Got to admit, Craig, Son's goal today was class. Roberto, do you rate Trent Alexander-Arnold? Louis wants to know. As much as I hate Hazard, his dive was world class, said Roberto. Trent's goal today just proves he'll be a world future icon. I don't know, what do you guys think about the FIFA Golden Boy Award? Who do you think is going to walk away with that one? I mean, before I seen the final 5, I would have assumed Mbappe was going to walk away with it, but Why isn't he there? Is because he was nominated for the Ballon d'Or? Can they not be nominated for both or something? We are the only team to keep a clean sheet against Manchester City, said Antoine. Excellent win against Watford. Shows how much the team has improved, said Maverick. It really is. I mean, we're starting to take these tough away wins, not for granted, but we're expecting them. And that's right. That's what we should be doing. But we're backing it up. There's no more silly slip-ups anymore. Oh, don't like using that phrase. Apologies. There's no more silly games that we're drawn 1-1 that we should have won 1-0. We're going and winning. We're putting the second goal in. We're putting a bit of daylight between us. Even when the captain got sent off today, we still went up the other end and scored a third. That's brilliant. I'm so happy with that. Craig, if we didn't have Trent, who would you have as right back? Clyne, mate. Honestly, Clyne. I've no problem with Nathaniel Clyne playing. I don't understand what's going on with him. I'd rather have Trent there. But I've no problem with Clyne as a right back. I think he's a very, very good footballer. If you're asking me who I'd go into the market to buy, then I honestly don't know, because I haven't had a think about it. And hopefully I'll never have to have a think about it, because we're going to have Trent Alexander-Arnold here for a very long time. Gomez can easily play right back with Lovren stepping in at centre back, said Kigby. Is he available, by the way, for Wednesday? Has anybody heard about that? Joe Gomez. Was it just a knock that kept him out for today, or is he out for a while? Craig, I think Trent's future is in midfield. A few people have said that. I don't think so, Stephen, personally. Can he play in midfield? Yes. Is he good enough to play there? Yes. But as I keep saying, and again, I want to give credit to this on Neil Atkinson. I must have said this about 100 times now. He needs to have a conversation with the manager about whether he wants to go into midfield and become a top level midfielder, or whether he wants to stay at right back and become one of the best right backs in world football. And that's the difference for me. I think he can excel as a right back. I don't think he can be one of the best midfielders in the world. That's my opinion on Trent. I think his future should lie at right back or right wing back. I couldn't join the stream during the game, Craig. I was watching it on my phone. Mate, as long as you got to watch the game, that's the main thing. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sure you did. 3-0 win. But you're on here tonight, buddy, so great to have you with us. I think De Ligt will win the Golden Boy Award, said Louis. It's a good show. It's a very good show. He's a smashing player. And as I said to you guys the other day, it seems Barcelona are looking to break a world record to bring in De Ligt as a centre-back, which is crazy for somebody so young. Trent free kick, best this season so far. Pure quality, said Maverick. I don't know, mate. I don't know about that one. Harry Wilson's against Manchester United was pretty damn special. I was screaming Golazzo as it went in. Still rocking hard now, said the Reverend. I love that phrase. Golazzo. He's 20 now, said Louis. Cheers, buddy. Why does everybody forget Nathaniel Clyne? What's up with him? That's the real question, Antoine. There's something that we don't know. There must be. You don't go from being as good as Clyne is, and yes, he had that back injury that kept him out for a long time. Probably longer than a lot of us were led to believe at the start. Like, a lot of us thought that he was going to be out for X amount of time. That doubled, if not even longer than that. And since then, he hasn't really got a sniff. It's weird. He was on the bench today, but why isn't he getting a run out? I don't understand it. Something must have gone on, whether he's had a disagreement with the manager, whatever it might be. There's just no reason. And there's talk that he's going to go to Cardiff possibly in the transfer window, and he's too good to play for Cardiff City. Even at, what is he now, 28? He's too good to go and play for Cardiff City. Clyne's leaving in January, said Mossy Wassy, which I just spoke about there. Trent wants to stay here for a long time. He said he hopes he can stay for his entire career, mate, which would be fucking class, wouldn't it? I mean, having a scouser in the club, I imagine it's just so important to locals, and why not? And you don't get much more scouts than Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's an absolute superstar. I'm so happy he's at Liverpool. And it's not just a gesture either. He's not just getting a game because he's a scouser. He's getting a game because he's absolute fucking mustard. And he pushed Clyne out when he got his chance. And that takes a lot of doing. Lovren has a mistake in him, but without doubt he's a decent player, said Kigby. Do you know what? Dejan Lovren, I think we need to put the days of him having a mistake in him to one side nearly, because when is the last time he's made a major fuck up? He had that meltdown at Spurs last year. So that's a year ago now, over a year ago. And in that year, I think Dejan Lovren has come on leaps and bounds. He's consistently performed very well for club and country. I never have any worries now when I see him in the starting lineup, and I think he's proved himself. I'm so glad he's here as well. Having Dejan Lovren, Virgil van Dijk, and Joe Gomez, for me, that's three that can play in a back three. That's what really excites me about it. I'd love to see Klopp experiment with this at some point and move Trent further up and Andy Robertson a little bit further up. Before Hazard scored versus us, nobody was talking about him, said Antoine. The thing is, there's a media loving for him. I don't know why. Can he turn it on? Yeah. Can he do great things? Yes, of course he can. But does he do it often enough? No. And comparing him to Kevin De Bruyne is disgusting as far as I'm concerned, because Kevin De Bruyne is being consistent. Kevin De Bruyne has delivered, put in performance after performance, and for me, Hazard isn't fit to lace De Bruyne's boots when they're both on form. Hazard is... You'll get Hazard for maybe 10 games in 38, maybe 12, whereas you'll get De Bruyne for probably 25, 26, playing at a top level. MK Dons have more history than Paris Saint-Germain. Oh, actually, speaking about small things, Ireland have today pretty much announced that they're going to be announcing Mick McCarthy as manager of the Irish national team tomorrow. The interesting thing about this, though, is they're only giving Mick McCarthy the job until after the Euros in 2020. From there on out, the job is going to be given to Stephen Kenny, who is currently the Dundalk manager. Stephen Kenny is going to start managing the Irish under-21s and prepare the players, for the transition up to the senior squad. I don't usually give the FAI much credit. I have to say, I'm usually the first person to stick the boot in there. But I think this is a good call. They've picked a safe pair of hands in McCarthy to try and guide Ireland to the Euros. Two of the games in the Euros are actually in Ireland, so there's a bit of pressure on the country to qualify. So I think it's a good decision by the FAI to give McCarthy the job and then transition Stephen Kenny in afterwards. And I love the idea of Stephen Kenny coming in to get a chance to manage the national team. We've seen it with Brian Kerr previously, and Brian Kerr is a fantastic manager with such good knowledge of the game. It didn't work out for him at the top level managing Ireland, but he gave it his all, and I hope Stephen Kenny can do himself justice, because he's another really good progressive forward-thinking manager. I think the Little will win the Golden Boy. We've done that. Craig, I told you you're getting the Golden Boy award. I know, Stephen, but I have to pretend that it's a shock when I receive it, mate. Trent needs to get the Golden Boy award, especially with Mbappe out of the picture. Who's in it again? De Ligt, Trent, Kluivert, is it Crotone from Milan, and there's one more and I can never remember who the other person is. I think we won't run out of steam this season. Klopp has got us out playing slower, not heavy metal football, which is a good point, Cart. We've just about fallen over the line in some seasons to get into that top four. Last year was a little bit different because we knew we had the Champions League final, so we kind of took our foot off the gas and just cruised over the line into fourth place. But this year, I think you're right. I think Klopp was boxing clever. Pep Guardiola's teams always come out of the traps fast. You see it every season. You've seen it during his time at Barcelona, Bayern Munich and Manchester City. They come out of the blocks fast. It's not unusual for them to rack up a ridiculous amount of points, but they do start to slow down as the season goes on. Last year, they had that little period where Manchester United beat them, we beat them. They got knocked out of the Champions League by us. So they are capable of faltering. So we just have to be there, right behind them, ready to capitalise. And he's under pressure this year for the Champions League, because that's what the owner wants. That's more than anything, that's what the owner of that club wants. He wants the Champions League, and that's why Pep Guardiola was brought in. And if he doesn't deliver it, ultimately, as good as Pep Guardiola has been, it will be seen as a failure from the owners if Pep Guardiola doesn't deliver the Champions League. What else have we got? Gomez should be fine for Wednesday, said Anthony Peters. Not biased at all. I don't think Cancelo is the best right back. I think Roberto is. He isn't the best in my opinion. Gomez definitely in for the PSG game, said Maverick. Thank you very much, pal. I'm so glad that he is, actually. It's really good news. I think Henderson is definitely going to start that game as well, particularly because he's out of the derby now, so might as well run him into the ground on Wednesday. Honestly, the only player in the world right now I'd swap for Firmino is Messi, said Kigby. That's a big show. It's a very big show, and I love Bobby Firmino. Trent must beat De Ligt for the Golden Boy award. Champions League final and World Cup semis. So it's a good point, actually. That is a very good point. if we're going to talk about why Trent should win it, then yeah, it's a really good point. Champions League finalist, World Cup semi-finalist with England. Look, he didn't get minutes really in the World Cup, let's be fair about that one. But he had a much bigger season than De Ligt, so it's a really good show. If we were ever to sell Salah, who do you think we would buy? It's a question I just don't want to answer, Antoine, because I don't want to talk about selling Salah. There's too much hypotheticals there. Like, let's just enjoy Salah while he's here instead of trying to wish him away. The stream I was listening to, Craig, the commentator sounded like the Swedish chef, said Stephen. I had a Chinese stream or something on, mate. Thankfully, I can never have the sound on. I just have to have it on silent because I'm doing the watch-alongs. But yeah, with some of the writing, I just couldn't figure out what the fuck was on the screen. Liverpool need to win next year in May, said Stephen. We need to win the fucking league, buddy. More than anything, I want that to happen so badly. Klein won't go till we get cover, said Maverick. Will he though? Maybe we'll just give one of the younger players a chance. I mean, that's what I'd be interested to see. If Simon Mignolet goes, I'm kind of in a quandary here. If Mignolet gets let go, then for me, Caoimhín Kelleher has to get the opportunity as the backup keeper. Otherwise, what's the fucking point? If we don't give these goalkeepers a chance, then what's the point in bringing them through the youth system? Caoimhín Kelleher, for me, has proved that he's a good level of a goalkeeper. If he gets an opportunity, I think he should be back up to Alisson. What's the point in giving fucking Mignolet games anyway? I mean, we know we don't want him here. We know he's going to be moved out next summer at the latest. So give Caoimhín Kelleher the experience. Give him an opportunity. I do not think Stones will be in the best midfielder. Should stick to centre back. Stones is completely fucking overrated. I think we've all come to that conclusion by now. Trent lives right by Melwood with his mum, said Stephen. How old is Trent again? He's 19 as far as I know. Or has he turned 20? He has. He's turned 20. Craig, I think I meant Trent's future could be in the as right wing back. That's true. That could well be his future. Imagine a back three. Excuse me, my eyes are stinging. Imagine a back three with Trent as right back. That would be class. Right wing back and Robbo on the left. What else we got here? When England face Portugal in the semis of the Nations League, I think Trent Alexander-Arnold will be a main starter for England. Ooh, I don't know, mate. I hope so. It's a big call, though. It's a very big call. Going to be the best Trench / Johnny Wilkinson. Trent just gets the award based on the Champions League run, said Maverick. Must have pained Delaney thinking he'll be spending money on something other than himself, said Tom. The thing is, though, at least he got McCarthy kind of free because he didn't have to. Well, he pays him a wage, but he didn't have to go and take him away from a club. So he just had to. He was sitting around. He probably got him at a reasonable deal anyway. So yeah, McCarthy till 2020, and then Stephen Kenny. Van Dijk has completed the most passes out of any Liverpool player in the Premier League with 969. I did not know that, Louis. Again, mate, thank you for that stat. Diet Shab, said Mossy Wassy. Damn right. That's probably I think that's my fourth can today. Trent will be the best right back in the world in the future, said Salah the King. I love the praise for Trent, guys. I mean, I love that you guys believe in him so much. It's absolutely brilliant. And he deserves it because, as you said, he's fucking brilliant. Trent in 5 years will be amazing, said Antoine. I shudder to think how good he's going to be in 5 years. I really do. Imagine 5 years more experience at international and club level under his belt. That's scary. If you had to put Juve's best 11 and Liverpool's best 11, which one would you choose, honestly? Liverpool. I'm not joking, Roberto. Liverpool's best 11. I mean, I think if you combine them, you could put one hell of a fucking 11 together there. I really do. But I think Liverpool, if we played you in the Champions League home and away this season in the knockout round, I honestly feel that Liverpool will progress. And of course you'd honestly believe that Juventus will progress. And I'd honestly believe that in your heart of hearts you believe that. But that's the beauty of it, mate. That's the beauty of us all seeing football in a different way. I just think that Liverpool could have a period that could blow any team away. And of course I'm going to back my boys. But as I said, if we could make a combined 11 there with players, it'd be one hell of a team. Feel bad for Markovic, never giving him a chance. Don't feel bad for Markovic. Don't feel bad for 1 second for Markovic. He's had his chances, mate. Every fucking week, every day on the training ground, he's had his chances. And he hasn't proven to the manager. So I would not feel bad for Lazar Markovic one bit. He had a chance to get a move in the summer and he turned it down. He's sitting there doing nothing now. Don't feel bad for him at all. It's his own fault he is where he is. Is Mo the best one season wonder in the world? Said Anthony Peters. I mean, Harry Kane had that one thrown at him for a while as well, didn't he? That he was a one season wonder, which I thought was hilarious. Every time you say McCarthy, I just think of that clip with him and his eyebrows. From the best attack to the best defence in one season. A good attack wins you games. A good defence wins you the league, said Tippy. It is nuts how it's changed so quickly. And there was no transition or anything to it, mate. You're right. It was just madness last year in attack to stability this year and being able to see games out. This is the sign of a good developing squad. What will be much nicer is if we could just have those periods up front where we just turn it on for those 10 or 15 minutes and we blow teams away like we've done previously. Now, it's still early days in the season. This time last year, we hadn't turned it on quite yet. We weren't the team that finished the season at this point last year. We were only starting to get into our stride, so there's still plenty of time. I guarantee you that come next May, we won't be remembering October, November. It won't be really something we'll be thinking about. We'll be only thinking about from February onwards, where we've just seen Liverpool hopefully tear the league a new asshole. Craig, is it wrong to have a man crush on Virgil? Stephen, it's wrong not to have a man crush on Virgil, I would say, mate. How could you not? The man is a colossus. Idolise the dude. I mean, everybody should have a fucking statue of Van Dijk in their bathroom. So when you're going in to do his shit, you can look at him and just think, someday, mate, someday. If our back five are as good as this now, what the fuck are they going to be like in 5 years? Said Mossy Wassy. What age is Van Dijk? Can somebody let me know? Is he 26? Is that right? Is he 25 or 26? So in 5 years time, he's what, 30, 31? Let's go 3 years time. Let's go with that one. 3 years time, I think we'll be probably at our peak there with our back four. Trent is following in the footsteps of a few former stars, but he's going a step higher, said Tom. Mate, his ceiling is ridiculously high, you're right. He can do what he wants in the game as long as he keeps his head down. And the best thing about Trent is he seems like a very well grounded young man. I don't know his family, I don't know his mother of course, but she has done a fantastic job raising that young man. He is a credit to her, he's a credit to the city, he's a credit to the club, and he seems like he is so down to earth and focused. And this is a guy that's played in a fucking Champions League final. Plays every week in front of 54,000 people, every home game in front of 54,000 people. Gone to a World Cup at 19 years of age. I know he's just turned 20 now. You would forgive him for having some arrogance, but he hasn't got an ounce of it. He is just humility personified, and it's beautiful to see. The problem with Trent in England is he must go past Walker and Trippier. That's the thing though. Walker I think is overrated as well. He's good though. I'm not saying he's not good. Jesus, Walker is a very good player. I mean, his pace and power is ridiculous, but sometimes he's a bit of a headless chicken. But he'll be in there, mate. He'll be making himself known, and it's good competition between the three of them. Roberto said goalkeeper he'd go with Alisson, but just about. That's if I had to pick. All Juve's defence. Yeah, of course, mate. All Juve's defence. All of them. No Van Dijk in that defence whatsoever. That's ridiculous. You've lost all credibility, mate, with that sentence. Sorry. Picking all of Juve's defence above Virgil van Dijk is just ridiculous. We can't be getting 1-0 wins versus Huddersfield and City putting 6 against Huddersfield. Why? Of course we can. I don't give a fuck if we beat Huddersfield 1-0 and City beat them 21-0. It doesn't matter to me. All that matters to me, Antoine, mate, is the number of points that we have after a name at the end of the season. And if that is one higher than Manchester City, then we're going to win the league. That's all that matters. I wouldn't worry about goal difference. Goal difference hopefully will be irrelevant. There's a very small percentage of a chance that goal difference is going to come into play. And I'd rather just think to ourselves now that we ain't going to catch City. We're just going to have to put the goal difference to bed and just see it as another point on the board for Manchester City. Salah will win the Golden Boot in the Premier League this season, said Kigby. Van Dijk is 26, said Antoine. Thank you for that one, mate. Same points for a 1-0 and a 6-0. Exactly. No difference. No difference whatsoever. Brian and Missy, the Bulldog Bully, said, had a wee little litter of Bulldog pups. 4 weeks old, so happy. That is absolutely brilliant, mate. I love Bulldogs. Mate, if you're on Twitter, please do DM me some pictures. I absolutely love Bulldogs, so I'd love to see the picture of the little litter. That's class. Delighted for you all. I hope mother and babies are all happy and everybody's safe and the puppies are doing well. But that's brilliant news, buddy. Thank you for sharing that one. Jay said, and we haven't even gotten out of second gear yet. It's exciting times, lads. It's absolutely exciting. Dick Van Dyke is 92, Craig. Thank you, Kev. So right, in 5 years' time, will he be at his peak then, Kev? He'll be 97 at that point. He should be in his peak around then. Gary Lineker has just asked Pep with Manchester City's goal difference that they're making the league look easy. What a prick. Good, let them, Stephen. I mean, leave Gary Lineker and everybody else big up Manchester City and say how they're going to walk the league. Let them go ahead with their heads as big as fuck. We'll just go about doing our business, and that's all we can do. I don't want media focus on Liverpool. I want Liverpool to go and do their thing and let everybody else say Manchester City are going to walk the league. Let them do it. They all said last season that Manchester City were going to turn Liverpool over in the Champions League. Did it happen? Did it fuck? They said after the first leg that Manchester City could turn it round. Did they? Did they fuck? These people know nothing. The media just are up Manchester City's hole. They're up Manchester United's hole. They're up Chelsea's hole. They're up Spurs' hole. Fuck them. They don't believe in Liverpool. Who cares what Gary Lineker has to say? Honest to God. You know they can do it, Stephen. I know they can do it, mate. We know they can turn over Manchester City. And if Gary Lineker doesn't know that after last season, then he's a fucking idiot. Trent is technically a god, said Salah the King. I love that. Technically. We're giving him god status on a technicality. In FIFA 19, Otamendi is rated higher than Virgil van Dijk. Whoever made that game needs to just open a window and jump out it. Honest to God. If they've rated Otamendi higher than Virgil van Dijk, Virgil van Dijk's penis should be rated higher than the whole of Otamendi. That's ridiculous. The league is coming home. City can't shake us. You'll never walk alone, said Brian and Missy. The Bulldogs bullies. FIFA. Yeah. That's one thing that doesn't get much coverage on here, mate, because I'm not a gamer, so we never really talk much about FIFA. Hello, lovely, said Claire. Claire, how are you? I hope you got to watch the game earlier, mate. I hope you enjoyed it. Fantastic win. How is life over in Chile, Claire? How are things? How are you keeping? And what time is it, by the way, over there? Are you 5 or 6 hours behind us? I just don't see Van Dijk better than Chiellini. Okay, Roberto, that's just stop, mate. Just stop. Just honestly, that's enough. No more. Roberto, with all due respect, mate, Virgil van Dijk is better than Chiellini and he's better than Bonucci, without a shadow of a doubt. Not even debatable, mate. I can't believe you said that. Honestly, mate, I was giving you everything. I was letting you have the Ronaldo topic. I just can't believe that you've said that you would have both of them ahead of Virgil van Dijk. You have to think back, mate. Come on, that's ridiculous. Seemingly, if Trent Alexander-Arnold doesn't do his chores, his mammy will knock all kinds of shit out of him. Who was the best defence in a season? Is it Chelsea with 17 conceded? Can we break the record? Hell yeah, said Mossy Wossy. Well, look, we're 1/3 of the way, just over 1/3 of the way through the season, and we've conceded 5. So there you go, mate. We're on track for it. But, you know, never say never. What a mad game. Freaking loved it, said Claire. Trent is a downright genius. Just turned 20. What a free kick it was, Claire. What a free kick. Tell you what, beat City 15-0. Job done. There you go. Stephen Burns nailed it. Just go out and beat them 15-0. Goal difference overturned. Pep's head would explode. Manchester City fans, who were they going to blame then? I mean, what would they blame if we beat them that score? What would they blame if we beat them in the Etihad? Whose fault would it be then? Because it couldn't be theirs. It couldn't be Pep's. Has to be somebody else. I want to beat City 1-0 from a penalty, said Claire. And a last minute one as well. How sweet would that be? Show them how to actually score a penalty. Does anybody know who Chelsea play next week? I can tell you now, Antoine, mate. 1 second. Let me just get the things up. Fixtures. Chelsea play. Where are they? They play Fulham, mate. They play Fulham at home, so it should be a handy one for them. Yeah, that should be a fairly handy win for them. Fulham at home. Roberto said, I'd love to see Liverpool lift the Premier League trophy, and I hate to say it, but I'm still going to have to go with City. Mate, they are the favourites. I don't blame you at all for going with City. I said this before. If somebody had a gun to my head now, I would probably pick City if my life literally depended on it. But that doesn't mean I don't believe in Liverpool, because we can certainly do this. But I mean, it's only fair to say City are favourites. I mean, they're the defending champions. They're top of the league. They're banging in goals for fun. They're rightly favourites. Reds won 3-0, clean sheet. Bobby scored. Chelsea lost. United drew. Madrid lost 3-0. Rangers won. Harry Wilson scored. Great day all around, said Andre. Liverpool do better when they're not being spoken about sometimes, said Mr. RJC. I used to be nervous when Lovren played. Now I rate him, said Cart6. Yeah, I get you, mate. He's doing really, really well. He likes to call himself the best defender in the world as well. What about the South American Cup final being postponed? All the Argentinian affair was cancelled due to a violent attack on the Boca bus. We spoke about that one, Claire. Actually, you must have just missed. We spoke about it before you came on. At the time, they hadn't called it off just yet. They were delaying the kickoff, and we were wondering what was going to go on. But yeah, it's not great to see the bus attacked. Carlos Tevez, I believe, was one of the players who was injured on the bus. So yeah, look, delaying it's probably the right thing. You know, people's safety has to be first and foremost. It's 6 o'clock. Claire, thank you very much. It's only 6 over there, so nice and early for you in the evening. So what, that mean 10 a.m. kickoff for you? No, sorry, 5. Yeah, 10 a.m. kickoff for you this morning. That wasn't too bad. I remember chatting to a couple of Australian guys. It was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning for their kickoff time today. Your low opinion of VVD is going to make all of our heads blow up. Ridiculous. It is. Look, Juventus have a great defence, of course. There's no denying that. They're known for having a great defence, but to not include Virgil van Dijk at all in that defence, there's bias and there's, you know, a little bit over bias. But look, the gentleman is entitled to his opinion. City like the aggressive driver that rushes past you, but you always catch up with them eventually at the lights. That's true, actually. I've done that loads of times. I used to be one of those pricks who was always in a rush to get somewhere, and then the owl lad who's driving at 40 miles an hour catches up with you at the traffic lights, just like you've said. Tippy said Chiellini shat his pants when Fellaini got in the box against United. Roberto, we're not biased on this one. Van Dijk is the best defender in the world. Mr. RJC said, I really, really, really want Jose to stay at the United job. He's brought me so much joy this season. I would say Garky Poo must have been having a fucking meltdown today, getting taught a lesson by the Hodgster. Absolute madness. 0-0, but from all reviews that I read, Palace absolutely deserved to win that game. Must be fucking sickening to be taught a lesson at home by Crystal Palace. Jesus Christ. Liverpool players are underrated on FIFA. Pogba is higher than Firmino, Mane and Keita. But he can dab, Kigby. I mean, how many points do you get for a dab? VVD is the best. End of, said Claire. And I'm with you. I absolutely agree. He's the best human being, the best defender. He needs a haircut, I'm going to say that. I mean, I think he'd look better with a shaved head. I mean, come join the Baldy Brigade. Why not? Chelsea and Arsenal are, in my opinion, the most overrated teams ahead of Spurs. I don't know, are Spurs overrated? This is a tough one, because if you look at them, they're a very good side. They won't win jack shit. They're never going to win anything. But they're a very good side. Pochettino has them playing really good football. Really, really stubborn team. Very well drilled. But I fear that they might lose Eriksen soon. I think he's only got 18 months left on his contract and doesn't look like he's going to sign the new one anytime soon. So very, very interesting to see what happens there with Christian Eriksen. And he could be the catalyst for that club falling apart. Because if they lose Christian Eriksen on a free, or they have to sell him with a year to go on his contract. That's a big hole for them to fill. They can only rely on Harry Kane so much. Dele Alli is a bit hit and miss. Heung-min Son has been brilliant for them. Fair play to him. But that's a big hole to lose if they lose Christian Eriksen. And I was only reading an article about it the other day where some people were believing that his head may already be elsewhere. Chiellini in his prime is better than Van Dijk, but right now Van Dijk makes Chiellini look like Lovren. I've not really seen much of Van Dijk, so that's why I've said Chiellini, but I don't know if Van Dijk is class. Roberto, your Juventus' defence is phenomenal. I'm not going to argue that, mate. They're absolutely brilliant. And I love Chiellini. I love him. He's a warrior. I absolutely worship the guy. I love, if you're talking about defensive setups, Italy in particular and Juventus, savage. Really, really good. But Van Dijk, just stick him in there somewhere, mate. It doesn't matter where. Just throw him in the defence somewhere. I love Chiellini though, I really do. He's an absolute warrior. And he's an absolute warrior, but with a degree as well, which I love. I love that he got a degree. Was it last year he finally finished his degree, which is class. The derby next Sunday. The derby already. First 3 points of the season against the Ev coming up next Sunday. Cannot wait for it. I cannot fucking wait for this one. Really interested to see how Everton set up. I think Silva's going to come out and try and play. He's not going to sit in like Allardyce did. He's going to come out and try and play. And that could play right into our fucking hands. This guy is going to be fast and furious. That's one thing I'm going to be sure of. This game is going to be 100 miles an hour next weekend. I mean, if I was putting money on it, I would say put your money on a red card right now. Don't know who for, but just stick it on a red card. And what else have we got? I thought I caught up, guys. Sorry, it seems that I haven't. Brazil were the favourites for the World Cup when they lost in the quarter, said Antoine. If there's anybody in better form than VVD, it's the next one would be Godin or Laporte, said Tippy. Merseyside derby next weekend. Excited for North London derby next weekend and Merseyside derby. Yeah, I'm going to be cheering for Arsenal next weekend, Antoine, because I want Spurs to drop points, because I want the gap to open up between us, Manchester City and the rest. So yeah, for me next week I'll be wanting Arsenal to win that one. And look, the Merseyside derby is going to be straightforward. It'll be a handy 3 points for the Reds. Don't you worry about that. Be 3 or 4-1, something like that. Claire said that the game's be delayed to be played tomorrow, possibly behind closed doors. That would be a shame, wouldn't it? It would be a real shame for it to be played behind closed doors, but I do think safety has to be the first priority here. Everton fans are shitting themselves. Oh, we'll hear them all week, mate. You're going to hear them all week, giving it the big one. And then they'll go back under the rocks once they get a hammer next week. When did I ever say I had a low opinion of Van Dijk? Whoever said that, don't twist things, please. Well, it wasn't me, mate. So I don't know who said it to you. Gomez and Trent Alexander-Arnold in 5 years. God, man, it'll be scary, said Antoine. It'll be fucking mustard, mate. Absolutely mustard. Lovren never said he's the best in the world. He said he's one of the best. Nah, he absolutely said he was the best in the world, mate. In my head, that's what he said. And in my head, he wears them pyjamas to bed. And I want to think of it that way, so I'm going to keep thinking of it that way. He thinks he's the best defender in the world, and let him think that. I mean, I love him. I love fucking Degsy Lovren. I hope he goes home in his world's best pyjamas every night and gets into bed and hugs his world's best teddy bear. Because I like Degsy Lovren. I'm not slagging him off here. I genuinely really like Dejan Lovren. I love that he's battled back. I love he doesn't give up. I love he's had knocks in life and he's still there. That's my type of guy. I can remember Sturridge strike versus Chelsea like it was yesterday. It was amazing. It was fucking class. It really was. Emu for the win, said Mr. RJC. Antoine, mate, pleasure to have you on as always, and I'll talk to you soon. Guys, we smashed it earlier on, by the way, on the watch along. Absolutely smashed it. We had, let me just check the figures because they should be updated a bit more. We've had 24,000 views of the watch along from earlier on. So thank you so much to everyone that shared the word, everybody that told people about us, people that just dropped in to say hello. We picked up 100 and something new subscribers as well. So we're past 4,600 subscribers now, which is brilliant. So thank you so much to everybody for that one. Means the world to us. Again, more Reds into the channel, which is always great to see. And if anybody is watching now or they're watching this video back later on, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, guys, and join what I think is one of the fastest growing YouTube football accounts, perhaps fan accounts. I don't know. I like to say that, so why not? Colin said, "Alright, Craig Bud, great game today. Well, when we win, it makes my day and keeps me in a good mood." I'm the same, pal. When we lose, I'm like a fucking antichrist. You just don't want to be around me. But thankfully, we haven't had to experience that in the league this year yet. 13 games in, 10 wins, 3 draws, 33 points, 26 scored, I believe, and only 5 conceded, 8 clean sheets, a record for Liverpool. Unbelievable, unbelievable. 10 a.m. quite reasonable. When it's midday kickoff, it's 6 a.m. here, and that's a bitch. I'd say it is. Yeah, that would be horrible. I mean, that's proper dedication, Claire. If it was a 6 a.m. kickoff for me, I would probably be staying up all night rather than going to bed and getting back up. That's what I tend to do for the boxing and the UFC and stuff as well. I can remember Sturridge's strike versus Chelsea like it was yesterday. It was amazing. And again, shout out, by the way, talking about games and stuff, shout out again to @AwesomeStreams on Twitter for the amazing TV package you put together for me. Absolutely class. I've been watching it all day. I've been watching games from all around the world. If you're on Twitter and you want to get a really good package at a really good price, all you need is an Amazon Fire Stick. Hit them up at Amazing Streams. Awesome Streams, excuse me, Awesome Streams. I'm so fucking sorry for saying that one wrong. I'm going to put it in the chat actually in case anybody does want to. Where's it gone? So there we go. Put it in there now. He's a Liverpool fan as well, so tell him we sent you and he'll look after you. Really nice guy. As I said, he's a Red, a Scouser through and through. So tell him we sent you, he'll look after you and sort yourself out and get yourself a good TV package. Emu for the win. Good game, and the Robertson's his first goal, said Jay Beckford. Andy Robertson, his run down the left hand side, mate, was mustard. I've said mustard too much tonight. I owe you guys an apology. It was class, determination personified, and I fucking love the guy. I love that there's just no drama around him. There's just no, he just does it. He just gets on and does it. I love that. Let's have a little chat though about Jordan Henderson today and Jordan Henderson's red card. I was very disappointed in him, and you guys know I've defended Jordan Henderson many times on here against people who've had bad things to say about him. I was very disappointed today. It really wasn't great. You could see him, and he got his yellow card, and you could see in him that there was something gone. He just lost it. There was an issue out on the sideline where he was pulled back and he didn't get a free kick, and he was talking to the referee about it. Then 30 seconds later, he makes the challenge, second yellow, and he's off. That was poor from Jordan Henderson, I have to say. It really was. To miss out on the derby then next week, it's a massive game. I mean, if you're a fan, it's one of our biggest games of the season. One you look out for every time you look for the fixtures. And for the captain to get himself banned for it, I think it's really bad form for Jordan Henderson. I'd love to know what you guys think. And don't just stick the boot in. I mean, try and be fair in your assumption here, or in your assessment, excuse me, of Hendo. But look, there's no denying that was stupid today. A senior player in Jordan Henderson's position should know better than that. I live in Peru, but the Argentinian commentators are calling it embarrassing and a pain in the arse, said Claire. Roberto said Van Dijk seems like a class guy in terms of class, but doesn't beat Gigi Buffon. The thing, Roberto, mate, is, and I've said this before, you can go back and check on streams, Buffon is one of my idols. I'm a former goalkeeper myself, and I adore Buffon. I adore him, but he let himself down a little bit last year with the whole thing around the abuse he gave the referee when they were knocked out of the Champions League. I lost a little bit of respect for Buffon around that. To say that he was cheated, and it just wasn't great. But I do love Buffon, I have to say. I love the guy. Why is the best games are the ones that's seen on TV? Just watching Match of the Day now. Why is it the best games are the ones that, I don't know what you're saying there, Mr. RJC. I'm not watching Match of the Day myself, buddy, so where are we in the running order, by the way, on Match of the Day? Have we been on yet? Hope we beat Everton next week. Bye bye everybody, said Antoine. We will, mate, we will, don't you worry about that. Brandon said he's here since 1.2k subs. And you have been, Brandon. No argument there, mate. You've been here from the start as well. Tom has the honour of having been our first ever comment on any stream. Never gonna forget that, Tom. Tom was the first person to comment on any video we ever did, and I told him I'd never forget it, and I will never forget it because it meant a lot to me, Tom. So thank you for that one, buddy, and thank you to everybody who's been here, whether you've been here from the start or whether you just joined us in the last week or two. We really appreciate it. It means the world to us. We've probably had our ups and downs. We've probably had our disagreements along the way. We've lost a few people as well along the way, but it's been a pleasure getting to know you all week in, week out, night in, night out. I'm really enjoying it, and I hope this is the start of a very long journey for Anfield Agenda on YouTube, because I'm absolutely in love with YouTube. I've been a podcaster for years, but since I started making videos or streams on YouTube, it's changed my life. I love it. I really, really do love it. After the attack on the Boca bus, City might realise it was just traffic. That can of Copperberg, mate, single-handedly cost Manchester City the Champions League. How dare they? How fucking dare they? Thugs, each and every one of them. Thugs. After not watching the game earlier and hearing some fans were giving Hendo grief, I was expecting to see him punch somebody. He hardly did anything for that red. Yeah, look, it wasn't the worst tackle you're ever going to see, but he gave the referee a decision to make moments after he was up in the referee's face screaming at him, so it wasn't great. The Revenite, mate, I'll talk to you soon. Craig, you can use different gravy instead of mustard, but I don't like gravy, Kev. I don't eat mustard either, though, which is the funny thing. Different gravy, we'll try and go with that one. It was very stupid, he had a good game, said Jay. I don't think he deserved the red. He was just about to be hooked, Klopp said. I fucking hate when stuff like that happens. Literally just about to get taken off, and then he gets himself sent off. Yeah, I hate when that happens. I wish Klopp hadn't have said that. Klopp was too slow in taking Hendo off, said Anthony Peters, which I would agree with. We should have had a substitution made before that point. We were only saying it on the stream, actually. Why are we comparing VVD to anybody? He's in the form of his life. He's the best on the planet. Everton fans are going to be saying that we won't be able to cope without Henderson. They're going to be telling us that Richarlison is going to show Salah who the best player in the world is. It'll be hilarious, watch, all week. These things happen. Hendo is no Ramos. Absolutely. Jordan Henderson would never be part of a team. Would never captain a team that would lose 3-0 to Eibar. Never. We scored without Hendo too. Maybe we should play with 10 men against the Blue Nose Plonkers. Well, look, it's you're probably just going to see. Do you think Fabinho or Milner will take that place next week, against the Blue Noses? I'm really interested to see which one Klopp goes with. Or he may go with both, actually, of course. Like, they could both go into a midfield as well, but James Milner, Gini Wijnaldum, Naby Keita, that's the trio I'd like to see take the field. Yeah, I'd like to see us do damage against Everton and just destroy them in midfield. I meant, why are the best games the ones they don't show live? It's just a look at the draw, buddy, and they have to show so much. Like, the deal that they have for the Premier League coverage is that every team has to be shown a certain amount of times a season. That way the television money can be distributed out a little more evenly. And the way the games are picked as well, they're picked in batches, I think. I don't know exactly how it works, but sometimes it's just a look at the draw, and sometimes you get weeks where they have to show a shit game. Being on Match of the Day, 4th game, to Anthony, thank you, buddy. At least I know then when I'm watching it back where to go through to watch us. Tom is an agenda king, needs a crown, not a spanner, said Kev. Absolutely. He's an absolute superstar, and Tom's been even listening to podcasts, gone a long way back before that. Ferno said I got no notification. Sorry about that, mate. I don't know what's going on. Some people just aren't getting notifications these days, and I've no idea why, because we've rechecked the settings. Everything is sound on our end. I think the channel was on about 450 when I joined. I've been here since just before the Champions League final, said Mr. RJC, which is class. Absolutely class. Lars has joined us. Lars, how are you, buddy? I haven't spoken to you in a while. I hope you're well. I hope you enjoyed the game today, pal. And I hope you've had a few drinks, because it's a Saturday night, mate, and I hope you're enjoying yourself. Kev said, Fury versus Wilder next weekend. What do we reckon? Mate, do you know what? I honestly think that Fury's going to beat him. I just think he's going to have too much for Wilder. If Wilder lands, of course he can trouble Fury. I mean, he's so gangly and unorthodox at times, but if Fury can control the fight, keep him at distance, lean on him, wear him down, I think Tyson Fury could do it, and he's looking like he really believes in himself. Now the downside for that is if Fury beats Wilder, then there's going to be a rematch clause, and we're not going to see Anthony Joshua get to fight either of them anytime soon. There's some talk this week as well about maybe Klitschko coming back to fight Joshua again, but does anybody want to see that? I mean, he was already on a downward spiral when Joshua beat him. We don't want to see him now 2 years later. But yeah, that's going to be a really interesting fight next weekend, and I cannot wait to watch it. I'll be honest, the first time I watched, I thought, fuck this, thought it was just another poor channel, but then I stayed and I got hooked. It's like an addiction now, said Mr. RJC. I often wonder about people's first impressions. Yeah, I wonder what parts catch people's attention, what parts they dislike. I know people enjoy getting the comments read out, which again I don't understand why any other channel doesn't do it or doesn't do it as much. But I mean, everybody runs the channel their own ways. But I'm always interested in people's first interaction or first thought when they look at the channel. I love Trent's free kick technique. He must be practicing it a lot. It looked like Johnny Wilkinson, didn't it, Skipper Dog? I mean, he took a few steps back, couple to the side, and then boom, top corner. Pick that out. Sales of Diet Chav have gone up since I joined the channel, said Mr. RJC. Speaking of sales of Diet Chav, actually, since you mentioned it, for anybody that wants the Ko-fi link, it's gone in there now. So I don't know where we are. I think we're at 4 or 5% of our target at this point. Trying to get the new equipment, but the Ko-fi link has gone in there. Say no more about it. It's in there if anybody wants it. I've been here since the pre-season, so glad I found the channel, said Cart. We were getting mad numbers for those pre-season watch-alongs. I don't know why. Maybe it's because the games were so hard to get, but we were getting crazy numbers for those. I mean, 35, 36,000 for some games. Tommy C said Cater needs to start against Everton. Hasn't had a good run in the team yet. If we can get him playing well, we will go to another level. Tommy, I'm right with you, pal. I cannot wait for Naby Keita to hit the ground at Liverpool and really establish himself, because I think he's going to be one of the best midfielders in the country when he gets established. That's how highly I rate the guy. So as you said, I think he can take us onto another level, and I hope he does get his opportunity soon. It was a shame he picked up that injury when he did, but you know, we've a long time to enjoy Naby Keita. Jason Collins said I didn't get notified. Stupid YouTube. A few people have had that, and actually it took people a while today to come onto the stream. I think it's usually a minute or so and then people are on, but it was maybe 3, 4, 5 minutes today before people really got on. There was one person in for a while, and then a couple more started coming in bit by bit, but yeah, it was a bit slow today, so don't know why the YouTube notifications aren't gone out, guys. Sorry about that. Skipper Dog said I think it was your podcasts when he started listening. We will be back with a podcast, actually. As I've said this to you during the week, we're going to do one a week from now on. So yeah, we're going to do one a week. I don't know when it's going to start yet, but I want to make sure we do it properly. I want to make sure it's good fun. Yeah, cannot wait to get back doing that, because I miss it. I really miss doing podcasts. I heard of Talk of the Terrace, but Daz introduced us to you. I gave it a try watching and really loved it since, said Ferno. Yeah, look, I'm so sad that Daz isn't on these days. I miss the guy. He's an absolute superstar. I love Daz. He's brilliant at what he does, and I hope he comes back to YouTube. If not, I'd love to do something with him. I mean, if time is a problem for him, I'd love to do something together with him, to get him on here sometimes, to get him on a podcast. I think Daz needs to be in the YouTube community because he's just a top red. Trent's preparation for the free kick or Pogba's baby steps, you decide, said Anthony. Yeah, I'll take Trent, please. Thank you very much. Colin said, I've been here since 1,500 subs. It's nice to have seen the channel grow so much over those months. Colin, I'm not going to lie, when we started this, I did not think it would be so hard to get subscribers on YouTube. I didn't think it would be anywhere near as hard as it is. Growing a YouTube or growing a Twitter account is pretty easy. You can grow that fairly fast. And Connor said to me when we started this, don't think you're going to get subscribers that quickly. Do not think that you're going to be up to 10, 15, 20,000 anytime soon. It's much, much harder on YouTube to pick up subscribers. And I was thinking, yeah, of course, Connor, right you are, buddy. But my God, has it been a battle. It really is tough. And what I found is that when you get subscribers, they're very loyal. And you do get people, they come back and it's great to see, but it's hard to pick them up. It really is. So when I see people that have 100,000, 200,000, I know how hard those guys must have worked to get their subscribers. So credit to them. Well done to Hendo today. Gave us all, took a hit for the team. Said, "Oh my me." That's a YouTube problem. Happens to a few other channels I watch as well. Said Skipper Dog. It does my fucking head in, mate. Is there anything that YouTube are going to do to help us at all? They won't monetize us. They won't give us super chats. We've no ad revenue. They're not putting out our notifications. Can we get any help at all from YouTube? Can we even play in a fair fucking playing field? It annoys the shit out of me that we can't take in a single penny's revenue from YouTube. Not one red cent do we get from this. Because YouTube won't give us any money. They won't monetize us. They won't allow us super chats. And we're left trying to fucking fight around to keep the channel going. It's a pain in the arse. But thankfully we'll find a way. We always find a way, because me and Connor fund this ourselves if we have to. Who cares? It's only money. This channel needs to keep going, which is why we did the crowdfunding, by the way. And people have often said, why didn't you and Connor just buy the fucking new equipment? Well, we could, technically, yeah, we could. I've already spent over $3,500 on equipment since I've started doing this stuff, and that's without the monthly cost of podcast hosting, website hosting, all that type of stuff. So it's not about money. People say if you can afford a holiday, that's what I've had put at me actually. If you can afford a holiday, you can afford buying the equipment. And yes, I can afford to buy the equipment, but that's not the point. The point is, if we get people to buy into it and we get people to contribute towards it, then everybody will feel part of something, and this will move forward together. Me just throwing $1,500 at new equipment. Look, I haven't got $1,500 lying around, but I could get my hands on it. But that doesn't let me know that people enjoy what we're doing. It's easy to get yeses when everything is free, but to get people to contribute, even if it's £3, it means that people believe in you, and that gives us a push, and that lets us know that what we're doing is being valued, and that we have a good group of people behind us. So it's kind of, I understand why people would have a go with us for putting it up, putting the Ko-fi up, but at the same time, I wish people would understand where we're coming from at times as well. And not you guys. You guys have been very supportive. But for us, we've put a lot of money into it. We've put more money into it. And we'll continue to put money into it. But we just wanted to put this out there to see if people will back us and see if people believe in us. And if they do, great. If they don't, look, we'll keep going. What sum do YouTube charge you, Craig? Nothing, Kevin. It's absolutely free to go on YouTube. That part of it is 100% free. But what you don't get free is the stuff like GoToMeeting and the website hosting, the podcast hosting, some other software that we use, like the suite of Adobe software that we use and things like that. And then there's the cost of new webcams, boom arms, microphones, second screens, ring lights, MacBooks, extensions, fucking soundproofing, podcast booth. There's probably a million other things. I've got like 7 other microphones downstairs that we use for live stuff. I've got a mixer. What else have I got? So much equipment that I can't even remember half of it. And I've bought all of that myself. Every single bit of that I've been bought with my own money. So that's not the issue. That's not why we're not happy taking flack over Ko-fi. Because we think if people want to back us, great. If not, we'll move on. Connor needs to get back into the pimping business, said Mr. RJC. Pimping ain't easy, mate. I mean, pimping ain't easy. My flight from Knock to Liverpool is at 7 or 8 next Saturday morning. Do I sleep before or not? I wouldn't be able to, Jason. I'm somebody that when I'm going on holidays or at mate, I stay up the entire night before for fear of missing the fucking the flight. I'm so nervous that I wouldn't be able to sleep. Good night, Cart, mate. Talk to you soon. Trent won't win the FIFA Golden Boy Award. Karius will. Don't even mention the name, mate, please. Karius is gone. We don't have to entertain Karius anymore, thankfully. What else have we got? Right, so to finish up tonight, guys, Let's have a quick look ahead to the game against PSG and what are we expecting from a result. Give us a quick prediction before we head off. Subi, how are you, mate? Great to have you back on. Buvac, new manager for Fenerbahce. Has that been announced, Lars? That's been doing the rounds for ages. Didn't Damian Kamoli take over there in some regard, Fenerbahce? But yeah, the Buvac link has been there for a long time. How did you grow your Twitter? I don't know, mate. I didn't do anything special. Posted up there a lot. Was kind to people. Was respectful to people. Wrote some articles. I don't know, mate. Just got chatting with Liverpool people and followed people back. Yeah, I don't know. There was no mad secret to it. It's just easier to do. I just made sure that I was very active, that I used the LFC hashtag a lot. I made sure that I put up good content, that I wasn't abusive. I was just being me, man. I'm just using my fucked up sense of humour. Who's Stacey, man? I don't know who that is. I'm expecting a Brexit performance against PSG, 1-0 to Liverpool. Inferno. Brexit performance. There is a few tricks, by the way, Jason, if you're looking to grow your Twitter account. There is some easier ways of doing it. One example of a way you could grow your Twitter account is if you're a Liverpool fan, which you are, find a bigger Liverpool account. Let's just say my Liverpool account. So go to my Liverpool account, and this could be a good hint for anyone who wants to grow their Twitter account. So go to my Liverpool account, go to my list of followers, and go through them and follow every one of them one after the other. I think Twitter lets you do 1,000 a day. So follow all of them, mate, and then give it 2 or 3 days and see how many of them follow you back. And then you can go and do another 1,000 and see how many of them follow you back. And then you can get a site that lets you know who has unfollowed you or who hasn't followed you back. Then in a week or two, if nobody's following you back, you can unfollow them. But there's a cheat way of doing it, and that's one of the ways. Sorry, he can be the new manager. Sometimes I'm so fast, or too fast, said Lars. 2-0 versus Everton. Bobby and VVD header at 10-1. Bosch, said Kevlar. Subi, mate, if you want me to follow you, do me a favour on Twitter. Just tag me, buddy, and I'll follow you. It's easier to get my attention that way. I'll put my Twitter handle in there for you now. I changed it recently to @CopCraig, which is nice and easy for anyone to remember. So if you want me to give you a follow, Subi, mate, just tag me on Twitter and I'll do it, no problem. Anybody else as well that's on here that wants me to give them a follow on Twitter, just tag me in a post and I'll follow you back. Thanks for the tips, said Jason Collins. No problem, buddy. And as I said, use my account if you want to start off. I've got 27.4 thousand followers or something. Just go into my list of followers, go through them, start from the top and just start following a shit ton of them. Hey Craig, hope you had a good day. Good win for the Reds today. Sunday will be interesting for me, going to the match. Return to a house full of blues. It will be an interesting one, Ant. Hopefully, mate, you'll probably be the only fucking happy one in the house. And you'll have a house full of blues, bitter as fuck, after Liverpool gave them a spanking. And I seriously hope we do. What is Twitter, said Lars. Mate, do you know what? It's somewhere that a lot of the time should be avoided, if I'm being honest. Twitter can be an amazing place that can do beautiful things, but it can be really, really bitter, horrible, and full of hatred at times as well. So I have a love-hate relationship with it. A VVD header is coming, but it's just when, said Kigby. Damn right. It has to come. Has to come. Craig, you misspelled world. Where? Where did I misspell world? No, I didn't. Did I? On the stream link? Hang on. Oh, you fucker. I said league. I was wondering. I was thinking there's no way I misspelled it. You got me again, Charlie. Craig must have been downstairs in the Alamo. Made sure the Everton fans knew we'd won. They said we were lucky. Yeah, of course we were. A fluky 3-0, Stephen. A fluky 3-0. Compared to their fantastic 1-0 win. Our fluky 3-0. PSG gonna come to us from the start. Will suit us down to the ground. Go back to a 4-3-3. Or a more solid looking midfield, said Tommy. And mate, again, tag me on Twitter if you want me to give you a follow back, buddy. Just put in a post and just tag me on it. And when I go back on after the stream, I'll check and I'll follow you back. What else have we got? What's your score prediction for Wednesday game against PSG? I haven't got a clue, Thomas. I don't even know, mate. 2-2, I think. I go with 2-2, Thomas. I think that's probably a reasonable assumption. Even, I don't know. I don't know what to think about the game. It depends what PSG show up. If Mbappe is fit and available, I honestly haven't got a clue. It's going to be an interesting game. I think it's going to be an open game, and I think there's going to be a fair amount of goals. Other than that, buddy, I haven't got a clue. VVD header is going to pay on Wednesday. Trust me, said Tom. Anyone know why Boca versus River Plate has been postponed? Yes, Roberto. There was an incident where the bus was one of the buses was attacked by the fans. The window was smashed. I think there was tear gas or something thrown into it, and Carlos Tevez and a few other players picked up an injury. So for crowd safety reasons, they decided to postpone it, and I think it was the right call. If there's any doubt or there's any fear of anybody being injured or any fans causing any havoc or anything like that, you have to postpone the game. You have to err on the side of safety. Trent to score a free kick in the derby and to do a Gerrard cupped ear celebration past their fans, said Ant. Every time we get a free kick now, we're going to be expecting them to stick one top bins. What a fucking strike that was today. Lars said, I always bet 4-0 to Liverpool and I'll bet 4-0 against PSG as well. Craig, reckon Cavani is PSG's biggest threat. He's a good player. I mean, I think he's been overrated at times. It's tough. It is tough to say. At home, he's going to feel comfortable. He knows where the net is. He's in good form as well. I just hope we can get something out of the game. Kick-off against PSG, man, at 8 o'clock, so it'll be as far as memory serves. We don't have another early kick-off in the Champions League group stages, thank fuck. Brian said he likes our chances against PSG. I honestly don't know how I feel about this PSG game. I can't get my head around it. I can't fathom. Like, usually I can look at a game and get a fair idea of which way it's going to go or what our chances might be, but for this game against PSG, I'm absolutely lost. I've no idea what to expect. I fully expect us to beat Napoli at home, without a shadow of a doubt. If we need to go into that last game and win them by 2 goals, I absolutely believe we'll do it. But against PSG, I don't know what to expect. I really don't. When the South American games used to be suspended, the scores were fixed. That's the tip I used to get when betting on them, said Mr. RJC. Craig, didn't know they sold Copperberg in Argentina. There you go. I mean, Copperberg gets around the world, mate. They probably imported it after the Liverpool-Manchester City game. Was going to watch games. Fucking hooligans just crossed the line, said Roberto. Do you think United will finish in the top 10? Enjoying the channel, keep it up. Yes, mate. I think they'll just about make the top 10. In all honesty, I think they'll probably finish in the Europa League place. But I don't think Mourinho's going to see out the season. I really don't. I hope he does. I want him there for an eternity. Because I love looking at his miserable face in the United shirt. Or United tracksuit. But fuck them, Tommy, mate. Honestly, they deserve it. I'm sick of their arrogance. It's about time that they felt what we all had to go through for a long time. Trent will take the free kicks from the left. And Shaqiri will take them from the right, said Ferno. Leave no ropes for Tarzan and we'll be fine, said Tom. If we win, PSG is a guarantee that we go through. Yes, I believe it is. Yes, we would be, because we'd be 4 points ahead of PSG actually with 1 game to go. So yeah, we will go through. And we'd also have them on games for and against as well. Craig, this is my 4-week anniversary watching you, said Subi. Happy anniversary, mate. We also have thousands of Liverpool fans here, said Ronan, which is class. Love that. Right, guys, I am absolutely shattered, so I'm going to call it a day. This is my 3rd stream of the day. I think this is hour number 5 or something at this point, so I'm absolutely shattered. Thanks again for coming on tonight, guys. I look forward to catching up with you tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have got to watch back the game by then and we can talk a bit more about it. Been a pleasure. Love you guys, each and every one of you. Yes, Matthew, I am Baldy. Thank you. I'll chat with you tomorrow. Up the motherfucking Reds. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. My friends asked you a question, said Ronan. What's the question? I don't know. Great stream as always. Anyway, I don't know what the question is, mate, and I haven't got time to answer it right now. But look, thank you guys for everything as always. I'll chat to you tomorrow. Up the motherfucking Reds.